Wow. Exciting news, everybody, especially if you live in London, England.
Especially if you live in London, England in September this year.
That's true, especially if you live in London, England in September this year, and you're a big fan of the podcast Plumbing the Death Star and the podcast The Weekly Planet.
But you really, really like those podcasts, but you don't like Nick Mason or Joel Zaman.
That's right, because there's going to be 2 live shows at the London Podcast Festival on the 13th at 9:30 p.m. We've got Plumbing the Death Star.
With James.
That's right, I'll be there.
With no Joel Zaman.
No Joel Zaman.
Yeah, Joel Zaman is not coming. James is coming.
Yes.
We cannot stress that enough.
And then on the 14th of September at 9:30 p.m. as part of the London Podcast Festival, there'll be a live episode of The Weekly Planet.
Exactly.
And Nick Mason will not be there.
But I'll be there,
And
Jackson
so
Bailey.
And so will I, Joel Dusha.
That's right, because I will not stand on stage by myself. I, in fact, insisted that that's not how the show goes.
So those 2 shows are happening as part of the London Podcast Festival at King's Place. That was the 13th of September for Plumbing the Death Star, 14th of September for The Weekly Planet. Tickets are on sale now.
We'll see you there, hopefully.
We'll see you there.
Oh, and there's going to be some other shows in the UK as well. They'll be announced very, very soon.
There'll be more.
The Weekly Planet, The Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me, as always, it's my co-host Nick Mason trying to replicate the success of me opening a can, but he can't do it because he's bought a bottle by mistake.
Hear that? Hear that?
Yeah, I hear it.
It's victory. It's a moral victory.
Moral victory. Wow.
Yeah,
Well, you
that's
dropped
right.
it on the ground. How's that feel? How's
a
your moral victory?
Feels morally very good.
Well, I'm glad.
Thanks. Thanks.
I'm honestly happy for you.
I'm happy for you. It's great to be here.
Yeah,
I'm happy
man.
for that, and I'm happy for you.
I know you might have heard up
And I
top.
forgive you.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's right.
For the stuff I did?
Yeah, for your behaviours.
Okay, thanks, man.
You're welcome.
That actually does mean a lot and makes me feel good about myself.
Are you going
Makes
to forgive me?
No.
Oh. Good.
I'm assuming you
Guess
didn't.
what? I'm the bad boy of this podcast now.
People might have heard up top.
I'm unforgiven.
Yeah,
And you're
yes.
unforgiven too.
Might have heard up top that me and a couple of the Sanspence guys, we're going to the UK
right.
later in this year. Hopefully that ad ran. I hope it did.
Okay.
Nick Mason won't be there.
That's right.
Unfortunately.
Because I hate people from the UK.
Yep.
People in sans pants.
Yep.
The other members of the Weekly Planet podcast.
That's right.
And flying. Those 4 things.
In that order?
Depends on the day.
Sure. Yeah. But look, tickets will be available for that on Thursday, and there's going to be some other shows that we're figuring out as well around the UK. If you are interested, it's kind of going to be a blend of like the Weekly Planet and Plumbing the Death Star, and that's the idea essentially. Is it untested? Yes. Will it work? I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
Come and find out, I guess. But no, we're really looking forward to it.
Plumbing the Planet.
That's what they'll
the
call it.
fracking tour. You're going around the world to ruin it.
It's not a bad idea, Mason.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And as,
Well, I wish you luck in all your endeavours.
Thank you. I don't know how this is going to work while I'm away. We'll figure it out, won't we? We're going to figure it out.
Sure.
Or we'll just stop.
Yeah, we'll stop. We'll take a few weeks off and then never pick it back up again.
Classic podcast behavior. Mason, we've got...
What we could do is we could just rerun some old stuff and see if anybody notices.
Not a bad idea, actually.
Right?
Did you hear the news of the week?
I mean, bro, what you could do, I think, is you could break down the news of the week and I'll tell you if I've heard of any of these things.
Oh, I can do that for you. So,
Okay, great. I've got to leave a pause after each one and I'll tell you if I've heard of it.
Okay, so this is just a list of things, and then we're going to go into more depth, though. This isn't
Okay,
it.
this isn't the news. This isn't. I mean, to some degree, this is the level of insight you get from us.
Yeah.
You say a bit of news, and then I say whether I've heard of it. But afterwards, I think we'll expand on each one
Definitely.
in the order in which you presented them here.
Donald
And at the end, after that, we're doing this high school essay style.
Yeah.
At the end, I'm going to summarize it all.
Oh,
in
okay,
one little
great.
bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Donald Sutherland passed away.
I had heard about that, and that's sad.
Maybe the Batman Brave and the Bold directors left.
I had not heard of that.
Okay, maybe.
Well, maybe.
Trailers for the Penguin.
I have heard of that.
A sort of teaser trailer and cast list for Batman Caped Crusader.
I had heard of that.
The Watchman, whether or not we're going to see Dr. Manhattan's dong. Have you heard that?
I hadn't heard of that.
Jordan Peele's next project gets a release date.
Oh, I hadn't heard of that, but I'm looking forward to that.
Street Fighter, Doesn't have a director at the moment anymore. It did have a director, 2 directors, now it doesn't.
Oh, I hadn't heard of that.
Have you heard of this The Acolyte controversy this week? Because a banana-headed guy was born in the wrong year?
I have heard of that.
Did you hear that the rumor of the new X-Men reboot team in the MCU?
No, I hadn't heard of that.
Wow. Did you read a big article about Blade and how Blade fell apart?
I had heard of that and read it on the train on the way over.
That's right. And that's pretty much it. We were going to do a couple of horror movies, and maybe we will.
Oh.
But we might save it for another week, depending on
Okay,
how
then.
we're going and how we're feeling.
Okay.
All right?
All right, then.
All right. Time code's below. Collings who edits this. He makes sure of that, doesn't he?
Thank you, Collings.
Thank you, big time. So Donald Sutherland has passed away at age 88. He was battling a long illness, apparently, of which we do not know what it was.
And we shan't be investigating further.
No,
We'll
I mean,
leave you his
88.
privacy.
Incredible innings. Been around forever. Some of the movies and stuff that he's done, not exclusively. The Dirty Dozen.
That's right.
The original MASH movie.
Yeah, he's the original Hawkeye.
He's the original Hawkeye. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, not the Daniel Craig one.
Right.
The first one.
Okay,
the one
yes.
that people remember. The movie JFK.
Yeah, he's X. He's the guy who breaks it all down.
How did he do it?
Um,
Is that movie accurate? Like, do you look at it now and go, no, that's not true? What
there is a
happened?
moment where a man's eyes turn completely black. And
What?
You see, because he's pure evil. I don't think that really happened. I don't think
You don't think that really happened?
I don't think people are capable of doing that. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, most recently, for the younger among us, like us,
Yeah, sure.
the Hunger Games trilogy, he was
That's right.
original President Snow.
Yeah.
So not only was he original Hawkeye, he was original President
right.
Snow and original Invasion of the Body Snatchers guy before Daniel Craig.
The original Snatcho,
Oh my god!
who's the antagonist of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Jack Snatcher?
Yeah, that's right. He's also, I think, the best Mr. Bennett in Pride and Prejudice in the
Oh yeah,
in the 2000s version. Yeah,
the Keira Knightley
Yeah.
guy from Succession
I think
one.
he's good in that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to fight you on that, Mason.
Okay then.
We could arm wrestle over it though if you want.
No.
No? Okay, fair enough. So Kiefer Sutherland, who of course is his son, had this statement. He said, "With heavy heart, I tell you that my father, Donald Sutherland, has passed away. I personally think one of the most important actors in the history of film, never daunted by a role, good, bad, or ugly. He loved what he did and did what he loved, and no one can ever ask for more than that. A life well lived."
Some have said the best actor to have never been nominated for an Oscar.
He was never really.
Never.
God.
Yeah, I think he was nominated and won some Golden Globe awards,
Sure.
but never an Oscar,
I
which
wouldn't-
is bizarre. Yeah.
I guess he's not a flashy kind of celebrity
Yeah,
guy.
exactly. Yeah.
So maybe that's got something to do with it.
Maybe, yeah.
He's never causing a ruckus.
He's never
or
causing a
strutting a red
Yeah,
carpet.
that's true. But I mean, such an incredible, evil turn in the Hunger Games movies. Obviously,
God.
Um,
It was Jack Snatcho. I think
he was
we
Jack
might have
Snatcher.
mentioned.
He was an anti-war activist in the 70s. He was on the NSA's watch list.
Oh, yeah.
through some of the 70s.
Nice.
Him and Jane Fonda.
Nice.
Speaking of, he's in a movie called Clute, which
Clute,
is
I don't
from
know
the
this
early 70s, and it's a sort of a psychological thriller mystery. It's got him and Jane Fonda in it.
Right, okay.
Good.
All right.
There's a guy named Clute.
Clute.
Yeah, that's
Jack Clute.
It might be Jack Clute or John Clute.
Get a Clute. Is that what they say?
Yeah, that's
Get a
right.
goddamn Clute.
It's time for me, put sunglasses on, to get a Clute.
Okay, I was thinking, I've never seen The Great Train Robbery.
Oh, yeah, he's in that as well with Sean Connery.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
So I think pretty much, I think everything else here that's mentioned I've seen. So I might check that out this week. if I
Yeah.
get
Also,
some time.
unrelated, but somewhat related, I think it's interesting that Kiefer Sutherland, it's a family dynasty of acting, but Kiefer Sutherland is not just doing a Donald Sutherland impression.
No.
Credit to Kiefer Sutherland, he's doing his own thing.
He's Jack
Whereas a
Bauer.
lot of people in this situation
Yeah.
are just I'll just do what my dad does.
Who are you going to name specifically?
Brooklyn Beckham.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Except he can't play soccer.
Yep.
So he's just an empty-headed dude walking around. Is that
And
what
he
you-
can take bad photographs.
Look, I don't know anything about him. Maybe
neither
he's
do I.
delightful, this Brooklyn Becker.
Maybe he's delightful.
You know?
Yeah.
But if I had to choose whose art I prefer, Donald Sutherland or Brooklyn Becker, I'm going to have to assess all of Brooklyn Becker's photography.
What are you calling him?
Brooklyn Becker? What's his name?
Brooklyn Beckham.
Beckham. Sorry. Whatever his name is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. But I'd probably pick Donald Sutherland if I'm
Yeah,
honest.
same, I think. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think Donald Sutherland's legacy of acting is better
Yeah.
in that it exists.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's move it along, Mason.
Okay.
Andy Machete who people might know as director of the It franchise, the newer one.
That's right. And he directed The Flash, the movie The Flash.
Yeah, he did direct the movie The Flash, which had its 1-year anniversary this week. Last week, sorry.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Wow.
How you feeling?
Not every movie makes it to the 1-year anniversary of existing.
Why would that be, do you think? Because it never comes out, I guess?
Maybe it never comes out, or they never made it, or all copies were destroyed.
Okay. Is this something you've revisited in your private life?
The movie The Flash.
I'm going to revisit The Flash, or even just the Batman scenes.
I mean,
even the pasta-eating time travel scene.
We did a commentary.
We did, that's true.
Besides that, no. Like I said, it to me it was like the equivalent of when you're a kid and you find a comic book in a supermarket or something and you read it and you go,
I hate this.
I don't really understand what was happening, but it was kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah. For me, it was the equivalent.
But it cost $250 to $300 million.
I did, didn't it? Yeah. Yeah, to me, it was the equivalent of watching a bad movie.
Oh, yeah,
that's how
interesting.
I feel about it.
Okay.
Look, I don't even think it's Andy Muschietti's fault. I don't know whose fault that was, honestly. It was a big disaster.
Whose fault was it that all these famous people were like, this is the best movie I've ever seen?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually.
Stephen King was like, this is the best movie I've ever seen.
Stephen King, come on, man.
And I've seen It Chapter 1 and 2. And all my haunted car movies. I've seen all of them.
There's more than one haunted car
Maybe.
Stephen King movie. There might be some sequels. I guess, yeah.
There's Christine and there's Vampire Knight Rider.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The teeth come out of the
They
lights,
come out of
right?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah, cool, man. Anyway, by all official accounts, it seems that Andy Muschietti is still the director of Batman, the Brave and the Bold. There's 2 Batman movies currently in production. One is The Batman Part 2.
That's right.
Which we'll talk about next. And the other is Batman, the Brave and the Bold, which is Batman and Damian Wayne. There's going to be a new Batman. It's in the DCU timeline. And it was confirmed very early on that Andy Muschietti was going to do that. But via the Hot Mic podcast, John Roker has said that he's actually left, but the studio hasn't made it official. I could see them after The Flash being like, this might not be the guy.
Yeah.
Even if he didn't do it, somebody's got to take
But
responsibility.
again, I think perhaps the Batman, the Brave and the Bold was his reward for finishing The Flash and enduring and slogging through and copping all the...
I mean, there's a lot that happened.
Yeah, but does that
around
backfire? Because people were like, well, there's no way I'm watching this new Batman movie. But then again...
Does anyone know who directed that?
Well, I see, exactly. But does anybody... Batman movies generally are a guaranteed hit.
Yeah,
so,
that's
know,
right.
So I'm guessing they're like, well, this new one will do fine, and thank you for finishing
They
The
also
Flash.
want it to be good, I guess.
I
and
guess.
I think if it's unknown whether, if they think that he can't do it, then I don't know.
It says here there's a new cinematographer, and it's Brooklyn Becker.
The Becca thing, they said.
Terrific.
Yeah. Look, I'm sorry I misspoke one time in my life. God.
I'm not sorry.
We didn't do anything.
That's right. I'm filled with glee because I can get you forever with it now. I'll get you my speech on your wedding day.
Don't do it, Mason.
I'm going to get you with it.
Don't do it, please.
Your next wedding.
Don't do it. Trailers ahoy. Did you see this? See this?
What's this?
It's for the Penguin.
Oh, I saw the trailer for the
Penguin
Penguin.
finally got a trailer. Not finally, we already had one. We got a teaser. Finally got a second trailer.
Second trailer, finally.
Took them long enough, didn't it? This one gives us more into the inside of what happened to the world in The Batman after The Batman.
That's right.
It's set directly after. Most of the city is underwater because of the big flood that happened.
Yeah.
Who knows what Batman's up to? I think he is going to show up in it. They've mentioned that.
Yeah, what's going to happen is it's going to be, 10 to 12 episodes of the Penguin building his criminal empire on the ashes of the recently destroyed Gotham City, and at the end, Batman's just going to show up and karate chop him in the neck and throw him into jail.
You're
going
going
to
to
clink.
jail.
That's right.
The crimes.
That's
I
right.
saw it.
Yeah. I've been watching the whole time.
So it's really about
What you've done is actually against the law. Hey, Batman, I didn't know. I'm sorry.
I think you did
I'm
know.
sorry.
You knew.
Yeah, I knew.
You shouldn't have admitted that just then. So it's mob family stuff.
Yeah, sure.
So what's his name? Falcone's dead, who was played by John Turturro,
Turturro, Mr. Tutoots.
but his daughter's around.
Yeah, that's right.
Played by Brecklin Buckler. What was it?
Yeah, Brecklin Buckler. Yeah, that's right.
What's her name? Kristen Milotti.
That's right.
That's correct. So people vying for power about what's left of Gotham and running about. Do you think we're going to get?
They're not running about, they're sloshing about.
sloshing
Because
about,
Gotham is still underwater, it seems.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you think he's going to make bank on some sort of drainage project?
Maybe he will.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so good as the Penguin. It's
Agreed.
like the makeup and everything.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
It's it looks difficult to do as well.
Am I
role.
recalling correctly that originally he was just going to be looking like Colin Farrell for the movie, and then they just did a makeup test?
I feel like there was maybe some concept art for that, or
Yeah, where he's
that
just
was like
regular.
the idea. Yeah.
And then Colin Farrell and the makeup guys were like, let's do a weird one. And it worked.
yeah,
So that's
it
cool.
really. I mean, unrecognizable. You wouldn't know.
Now, here's something that I think perhaps we're forgetting about and was absent from the trailer. When are you going to get one of those umbrellas?
Yeah.
Do you think it's an essential element to the Penguin? I
Yeah.
kind of think it is.
Well,
yeah?
it's been raining, or
Right?
there's been water,
That's true, yeah.
so you might need one. Do you think?
Maybe we tease throughout the series like, oh, looks like it's going to rain. I better get my umbrella. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine now. I'll leave. I'll
Yeah.
go out.
Do you think this is going to go that way in terms of like umbrella with a knife in it? Weirder stuff.
better.
Weirder Batman-y stuff.
I think umbrella with a knife in it is maybe
What
as
about
weird as we're
umbrella
gonna
where
get.
all the material sheds off it and he
And then
steps
it's
onto it
inexplicably a helicopter.
Yeah, it's a
absolutely.
helicopter.
Yeah, sure. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
you think it's going to do all of that?
I think so, yep.
I don't know what kind of universe this is. I'm still not ruling out that they're going to just fold this into the DCU. Be like, this is our Batman. Actually, we thought of this.
Mm. Yeah.
This is mine, James Gunn.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but we'll see. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of Batman, there was a teaser for.
I'm stealing this at gunpoint, he'd say, 2 ends.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I think so.
Would he say 2 ends?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't know otherwise.
Yeah, that's right.
Unless you went gun. Batman Cape Crusader. You saw this teaser?
Yes.
It was more of a vibe than any kind of.
It was a vibe, but you have a cast list there.
I do. So
This is the big reveal. This is a new Batman voice actor. Big shoes to fill. 'Cause
Yep.
It's been Kevin Conroy on a lot of stuff.
it's been other people, but
It's
it
been-
has been
yeah.
Kevin Conroy.
But does anybody
RIP.
remember anyone other than Kevin Conroy?
No,
That's right.
Hamish Linklater is playing him. He, well, I was going to say most recently he's done a bunch of things, but Midnight Mass.
Oh, yes.
He plays the priest in that. I really like him. I think it seems like he's a very good choice. Like his work a lot. There are shades of Kevin Conroy in it, but it also is Batman.
That's
so there's
right.
shades of Batman in it.
I think a lot of people also who have voiced Batman in the last few years have probably grown up listening to, or at least, spent some time listening to Kevin Conroy.
Oh,
as
definitely,
Batman
yeah,
in the
absolutely.
animated series. So they're going to be influenced.
Yeah. So there's a big cast list, but the confirmed ones are Batman, as mentioned. Harley Quinn is Jamie Chung. Two-Face is Diedrich Bader, who has played Batman
That's right.
before, actually. He does a fun Batman. And Catwoman.
He's the brave and the bold Batman.
That's right, yeah. And Catwoman is Christina Ricci.
Excuse me, who?
Sorry. Look, Mason, I misspeak twice in my life, and I'm tired. I haven't been
That's right.
sleeping.
Yep.
Is that not good enough for you?
You have been sleeping? Or
No,
you
I
haven't?
haven't.
Oh, interesting.
Ricci.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yes.
Who people might know from.
No, not just Ricci, not Ricci. She's not married to herself.
You don't think so?
I don't think so,
I think
no.
it's important to be married to yourself. You got to love yourself first, Mason.
That's right.
That's why you got to have a ceremony just for
That's
yourself
right.
initially. and
If
then-
RuPaul has taught us nothing else, it's that and also that fracking thing. Which you've taken to good use for your tour. That's
I have,
coming up.
absolutely, yeah. What do we got here? So here's some other names that are in it. John DiMaggio,
He's Bender.
he's Bender. Mimi Driver's in it. McKenna Grace
Excuse
is
me,
in
who's
it.
in it?
Mimi Driver is in it.
I'm making notes.
Shut
I'm
up,
putting all these
Mason.
in. Mimi Driver.
McKenna Grace,
Okay.
Toby Stevens. Some good names here.
They are good names. I mean, they are attached to famous people, but they're just good names on
Just
their
good
own.
names
I
in
reckon.
general. There's a confirmed list of some of the villains. We know we're getting Penguin, Clayface, Firebug, and Gentleman Ghost.
It's a gentleman
Who's
ghost.
the Gentleman Ghost again? I don't
He's
remember.
a guy and he's got a top hat, but you can't see him because he's invincible.
He's invincible.
That's right.
I'll let that slide because that's the kind of person I am.
And I did that on purpose.
Nah, I'm letting it slide. I'm letting it slide. I've decided. This is out August 1st. So that's coming up, isn't it? How are you feeling about this? They're talking about it, that it's this version of Batman where they're doing things that they couldn't do in the original animated series.
Bigger ears, for
Bigger
example.
ears is one of the
Yeah,
things.
yeah, I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah. Sometimes when you take kind of the restrictions off something, it doesn't
Make it better,
necessarily make it
necessarily.
better.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't necessarily know what that means. Like, does it mean more violence? Does it mean like darker storylines? Does it mean bigger ears? Yes.
It does,
But what
absolutely.
else does it mean? I don't know yet.
That's right.
Looking forward to it though. And it's Bruce Timm and J.J. Abrams is producing, and who else was involved? Can't remember.
Batman.
Yeah, Batman's in it. He's got big ears. Now, we talked about the Watchmen animated double movies that are coming
That's
out.
right.
There was an animated trailer last week or the week before, whenever it was.
You'd hope so. You'd hope it wouldn't be live action.
No, you don't need that. We already did it.
It's just the original Watchmen movie trailer, but it'll be animated. Trust us. We've done it.
Yeah.
We couldn't get it back from the chemist. We couldn't get the prints back from the chemist. So
We just knocked this out just
Yeah,
quickly.
yeah,
So we were like, what's the deal with this in terms of how far are they going to take it violence-wise?
yeah.
Will we see Dr. Manhattan's penis? And you said no. I remember you saying distinctly no.
I
we're
said
not
I
gonna
don't.
see it.
I don't think
And
so.
I
yeah.
said distinctly yes.
Okay.
I demand that we see it. Anyway, it's now rated R for violent content and some graphic nudity.
graphic nudity.
Graphic nudity.
Wow.
What do you think about that, Mason?
Well, that's cool as
We're
hell.
going to see it.
You don't know for sure.
Yeah, we are. You know we are.
I reckon maybe all the other characters are nude, but not Dr. Manhattan.
Oh my God, they're flipping it.
That's right.
I love that actually. Because he's removed from humanity, so he's just doing what they're not doing.
Correct.
Okay,
Precisely
great,
that,
cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've seen a few tweets.
And Rorschach keeps changing color and shape all the time.
You should get that looked at.
I know,
Rorschach. He
right?
won't, but he should.
Yeah.
He won't, but he should.
Yeah. If it changes color and shape, you
Especially
should,
rapidly.
yeah, you should go to a
Yeah,
doctor.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a sign of something, I think.
Agreed. So I saw a few tweets, and look, it's not many, but there's people being like, oh, they're cashing in on the Zack Snyder name by doing a Watchmen thing. They get rid of him, but how typical. Like, he didn't invent or write Watchmen. I would also say that people don't even associate that movie necessarily, or Watchmen in general, with Zack Snyder, do they? Like, what's the general
No, I think they do.
public
I think
think?
I mean,
Ask a normal person, Mason.
well, they're not going to say Alan Moore because he took his name off the credits.
this is the brand of Watchmen even.
Yeah.
Like,
Zack Snyder.
you think?
I think.
Oh,
I think
maybe-
it's. I would
Maybe
say
they are doing this
I-
thing.
yeah, I think
I'm
it's-
mad now.
it should be.
Ah.
Yeah, I would say, like, generally speaking, it is. You know, it's
Cool.
It's cool. I mean, even us,
Yeah.
like, famous Zack Snyder haters, we would say that it's not a bad version. I don't think, know. And I think the fact
think
that
so
he,
either, yeah.
I think the fact that he was so limited in that he couldn't change enough, because if he changed too much, it wouldn't make any sense.
Poured it all into the squid, taking out the squid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right.
Which he shouldn't have done, by the way.
I agree. Should have been a squid.
Should have been a squid. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Well, maybe they are. Maybe this is all a big con.
That's right.
Zack Snyder's just not happy about it. Do you think?
I think he's perfectly happy with what he's doing now,
Rebel Moon 3?
renaming them Rebel Moon movies.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
In preparation for Rebel Moon 3.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's going to happen? Or are
Yes.
they waiting for the director's cuts to come out to see how they do numbers-wise? Because it's all about numbers.
Yeah.
It could be junk, but if it does numbers, it doesn't matter.
It just feels weird to have two movies as a sci-fi fantasy epic and not three, doesn't it? Even though it doesn't, it doesn't really matter. But if I don't know if he's following the Star Wars blueprint, which itself was following the Zack Snyder blueprint,
Yeah.
there should be three, shouldn't there? At least.
But don't you think also that at the end of that movie, it feels like there's going to be more than, or there is talked about it. It doesn't even feel like it should only be two.
Well, then it should
Because
be
they're
six.
like, and the princess is alive, and we're going to rescue the
Yeah.
princess because she's like, that's not one movie's worth of stuff. I
No.
assume. I don't know.
I'm gonna get. This is my
I haven't
guess.
even done a trench run.
This
yet.
is my guess. He wants 6 movies.
Yeah.
because that's a Star Wars trilogy, but twice as much and twice as good.
Wow.
So I reckon
2 Star Wars trilogies.
I reckon he's negotiated this in advance.
Yeah.
And there's going to be at least 2 more.
I mean, they can delay and push back until someone eventually jumps ship. I don't
It's true.
even if he has locked in 6.
Yeah.
I think there'd be a way out of
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would be use some of their unlimited venture capital money to pay him out.
Just
I
bury
guess.
him in money.
Yeah, just bury money. How about this, Zach? We give you $200 million to not make another one. And then you go away. You just go away.
Go to Tubi. Jordan Peele's next project is dated. It said 10/23/26, which doesn't make any sense.
No,
if you
the
live in
10th of the
Australia.
23rd month?
What do you mean?
Doesn't make any sense.
23rd month. That's the second year of, I don't know. What does this mean to you?
Great question, James, but I think...
You enjoy your drink?
Yeah, I am. I think...
Did I ask you at an inopportune time?
No, that was the perfect time.
Okay, great.
I think that we're examining this
Hmm.
from an Australia-centric lens here. But if we were to look at it in the American way,
Yeah.
which we can do,
Oh, yeah.
It's coming out on the 23rd of October.
Oh, that's what they've done here.
That's right, yeah.
In 2026.
Yes.
Now, you interested?
Yeah.
What this is? Well, wait, just wait.
I'm interested generally, if
Okay.
that's the question you're asking, in things.
Here's what it's about and what it's called.
Okay.
Plot details remain under wraps at this time. An official title for the film, along with casting information, has not yet been announced.
Also, nothing. We've got nothing.
No, there's a date.
Thanks for nothing, Jordan Peele.
There's a date.
Oh.
Do you not want that? It's a bit years.
Okay. What's a significant thing that's happened on the... Oh, Ollie's here.
Yeah.
What's a
lives
significant
here.
thing that's happened on the 23rd of October, I wonder? Do you think that's a clue?
Nah.
Great.
Sorry, just no, Mason. I don't think so.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. But how about this?
Go on.
Street Fighter news. Do you know there's a Street Fighter movie happening?
No.
Danny and Michael Filipao.
I don't know enough about them
They're the Raka Raka guys.
to know whether or not you've mispronounced that.
They'll let us
So
know.
I can't make fun of you for it.
It's the talk to the hand guys that people don't know.
Yeah.
Talk to
yeah,
me,
yeah.
sorry. Talk to my hand.
Sure.
Have a chat with this hand.
Yes.
So they moved onto this project afterwards. If you've seen any of their YouTube channel, they do a lot of stunt work. There's a little bit of like stunt work in that in Talk to This Hand for me. But you don't really get a sense of the stuff that they have been doing on YouTube. They do people flying around and through tables and walls and chaos. So it seems like a good fit for Street Fighter, but apparently they're no longer working on the project due to scheduling. I know
They've racket off.
Whoa.
That's right.
They've got another thing on. They're doing another low budget kind of horror movie. I know that. And
Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
Talk to the butt.
Talk to
sequel
the
to
butt,
Talk to the hand.
Is it Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
Talk
Yep.
to Jim Carrey's
They
bus.
brought him back out of retirement. That's
but
right.
just his bus.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, they scanned it for the Sonic movies, and now that's available for purchase.
Oh, wow. I
It's
can
like
get
an,
it?
Yeah, it's like an Adobe Premiere asset, as it were. And you just purchase it, and you've got his talking bus. You
Awesome.
can make it bigger or smaller or,
Yeah.
jigglier or what have you,
Yeah.
Easy.
Now, because it's the first Street Fighter movie, it's just called Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that? They're not calling it Street Fighter 2.
Sure.
Which is the one that people like. They like that game.
They do. It's
You
true,
think it
yeah.
just, or you call it something like Street Fighter 2 Turbo Edition or something.
Yeah, okay,
That's
sure.
what I would call it.
Yeah, okay.
Then you get bums on seats. I think this is a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, so someone else is going to do it, and another, which I guess I'm interested in, depending on who's. I like the idea of those guys doing it. I think that would have been. That could have been something really interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it still might be.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that last one,
Street Fighter.
Yeah,
The
it's-
Chun-Li one?
Oh, no, I forgot about that one. That's Street Fighter 2. Well, I can't call it Street Fighter 2 because there was a Street Fighter 2.
That's true. That was
They'd have to call
technically
it
Street Fighter 2.
They'd have to call it Street Fighter 3.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on the cast. And again, it's like Mortal Kombat. It's difficult. Who's your point of view character?
Yeah.
Do you make it Ryu because he's the main
You think you'd make it Ryu and Ken, right?
Yeah, you'd
don't
think
know.
so. But you would have
And
thought...
they made a Chun-Li movie, so they're probably not going to aim at that
That's right.
the second time around. Yeah. I don't know. Was it a good move making Guile the lead of that original one?
No, but that's what Van Damme wanted. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's a fun movie from memory. It's a silly... That second one, though, boring. Really boring.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Oh, my God. More news. The Acolyte, episode 4. Let's get into this discourse.
Okay.
Something I love.
Okay.
Talking about this show that I feel nothing for. Mason, you've been keeping up.
No, I haven't.
Mason,
I watched the first 2.
you've missed a few episodes.
I've missed at least a few episodes, I think, yeah.
because there was
I'm
some,
not caught up on The Boys either. I know there was a new episode, but I haven't got around to it. I was watching 3 horror movies because you said let's do an episode where we do a recap of 3 recent
which
horror
we might
movies.
do. We still might do.
So I was watching Abigail at 3 a.m. last night.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
You need better time management.
I know.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of the 3 movies I watched, I reckon it was my second favourite.
Oh. You like the spider one the most?
Yes.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go. The Acolyte episode 4. So, etc. All that discourse about the show and whatever. All
Oh, you
those
mean
things.
generally?
Just generally insert whatever. You know?
I can't believe this person did a thing
Yeah.
or didn't do a thing or
Now-
couldn't do a thing or could do a thing.
I'm at the end. A Sith guy floats down. I'm going to spoil it.
Okay.
And he's a spooky Sith guy. And,
Okay.
And who is it? It's Jason from The Good Place. Almost 100% certainly. Because
Oh, I see, right.
that is a spoiler. I guess. I'm guessing. I don't actually know that,
Okay.
but he was off. He was off screen.
So far, this is genuinely the upper tier of the Acolyte discourse, I think, and Star Wars discourse in generally. So there's a guy, and he comes down. I think he's the guy.
And he's from The Good Place.
He's from The Good Place, I think.
Because Jason from The Good Place was not there. He was off screen.
Okay.
And then this guy, the same height, turned up.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's him. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
All right.
But it's a mystery.
Sure.
But it's not.
Okay.
Because it's him.
Right.
Anyway, and then just before a big Sith battle where all the Jedi light up their lightsabers,
Ooh.
the Sith guy.
Different
who's
colours?
Jason, no, so maybe.
Green and yellow
Yeah,
and blue?
maybe a yellow. I don't know.
Yeah, nice.
And Jason from The Good Place.
Yeah, yeah.
Allegedly.
sure.
Shoots the ground with like he does a big push, a force push.
Nice.
And they'll go whoosh.
Nice, or I'm outraged because
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to do that.
Maybe. But then the episode ends. And that's how it ends.
Okay, but was that that's not the...
No, that's not the thing. I'm just saying that's how the episode ended. It's paced like absolute shit. I don't know what they were thinking.
We
with
were
that.
talking about this prior to hitting record, that what do they expect? Like, you produced nothing but garbage for like 6 years, and then...
There's been some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
I maintain that, Andor, the first and probably second season of The Mandalorian is good. That bit where Obi-Wan was crying and his mate had a big gash in his face and he's like, you fucking did this?
Oh, yeah,
I like
nice.
that bit.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Throwing rocks at him. Remember he threw a bunch of rocks at him?
Yes, of
He's like,
course.
stop throwing rocks at me.
And then I think Obi-Wan Kenobi threw some rocks back, maybe?
Yeah, no, Obi-Wan Kenobi was throwing the rocks. And Darth Vader was like, I'll kill you. And Obi-Wan's like, I'm leaving. Come and get me.
That's right.
But you won't. You're a coward.
I'm getting my rocks off, he said. And people are like, that's perfect, actually.
That's classic
That
Obi-Wan
is what he
Kenobi.
would say, because he's in my mind, he's a cool guy.
Anyway,
Yes.
so Ki Adimundi turned up. Do
Okay.
you know who that is?
I know. Look, I only know this. If you'd asked me a couple of days ago, I would have said absolutely not. But he is one of the Jedi Masters in the prequels, right?
Yeah.
And he's got a mustache and a really tall cone head.
He's got a banana-shaped head.
He's one of the cone heads.
Yeah, he died in Order 66. All the clone troopers shot him.
Uh-huh.
Because he's probably one of the dumber Jedi.
Interesting.
And
Is that from Wikipedia? He's probably one of the dumber Jedi.
that's saying something.
Do you mean dumber looking or dumb in terms of his like strategy?
I would say
tactics?
both. I would say
Interesting.
both, Mason.
Okay.
Anyway, so it apparently breaks with canon, or it breaks with Sith, not Sith canon. It breaks with Legends canon because
But he is alive in the Acolyte time. And
yeah,
that's
but he's
hundreds
not.
of
But
years
he's
prior?
not supposed to be. Well, it doesn't. I'll talk about it. So Screen Rant said that Ki Adimundi's age was never specified in the movies, but in the Star Wars Episode 1 Insider's Guide, a computer program released on CD-ROM by Lucasfilm in 1999 contained a character profile of revealing he was 60 years old when he first met Anakin Skywalker, which would mean that he couldn't. But for now he's like 140 or something.
Okay, wow.
And he's got like a brown mustache. Who cares? It's like the most inconsequential character of all time. There's so many things that are going on with the show, which I feel like are bigger problems.
Yeah. So to be clear, there wasn't a scene in one of the prequel movies where somebody says his age specifically.
No, it was on a CD-ROM.
on a
someone put-
CD-ROM.
Yeah. And then went, oh, no, he's about
First of all,
60.
good luck putting that into a computer now. You
The
won't
computer
have.
will eat it.
Yeah, that's right. So basically, this is a slap in the face to Canon because
Yep.
of this terrible mistake. Because somebody decided it would be more convenient for him to be an extra 100
Yeah, I
years
think
old or
people,
whatever.
I was going to say people sometimes, they enjoy that people show up. And I
Yeah.
think that's what they were going for here. They're like, oh, people will be like.
They were like, we need a people show up
Yeah, we need a people show up guy.
in the writers' room. Like, we need a people show up. Who's left in the people show up box?
Yeah. But also, like, if it's in a show that I think people are enjoying or that is better, people don't care. Like, they change stuff like this all the time. Andor's age is wrong. Like, he's supposed to be like 22 or something.
Okay.
They messed around with it. It doesn't make any sense. But who cares? Because the show's like incredible.
But if they're going to mess with Mr. Mundy,
Yeah. Yeah.
Marty Mundy,
Yeah.
then
And the other bit of canon that breaks is because he was around when the Sith apparently have shown up.
okay.
And he's got two famous quotes from the prequels. Here we go.
Bloody hell, it's the Sith.
No.
Oh.
He doesn't say that. He
Bloody
said,
hell, who's that? Oh, the Sith. Huh.
I didn't think. Oh, no. Yeah, all right. And in the Phantom.
Wow, I'm too young for this to be happening. I'm barely 60
I'm
years
60.
old. I'm barely 60 years old. I'm not even on the property ladder. Boy, this sucks.
Yeah.
I'm
Boy,
a
does
young whippersnapper and the Sith are here.
it. Yep.
Go ahead, give us your actual quote.
The Phantom Menace, he said, impossible. The Sith have been extinct for a millennium. And then Attack of the Clones, he said he's a political idealist, not a murderer, about Dooku. But this also speaks to me that this guy is a moron.
Well, they're all,
Because
aren't
he's
they
saying,
all?
yeah, he's saying like things that are wrong. But if he was around for this thing that happened, I think this Sith guy is going to wipe out a bunch of them, or they're going to make it so that it's still a secret. At the end, they're not going to be like, and everybody knows the Sith are back.
Do you think this is going to be a Mr. Magoo situation where he won't be looking? He'll be looking the other way as the Sith.
He
show
said
up
something
and wipe people
about
out?
there might be a splintered Jedi group. That's what he thinks it is, which is
okay.
probably what it'll
Because
end up being.
isn't so much of the, especially the prequel stuff, the Jedi being presented with like really obvious
Yeah.
evidence they're being evil and being like, I don't believe that because I've read in a book that there isn't any.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
stupid, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, this is basically the start of that. I don't know. I don't honestly like it doesn't even matter that it's the least exciting thing that's ever happened. Like this guy even being in this show.
Sure.
It's just
Yeah.
I saw him and I went, oh yes, I think that might be that guy, or it's his dad, or
Yeah.
do they even have kids? I don't know, who cares? And that's all I thought about it. I was thinking about other things.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about how cool the show was in general. That's what I was thinking about.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, that's where we're at with this. He cares.
With Star Wars, generally.
He sucks. He's a nothing character. Who gives
Wow.
a shit?
Yeah, have you considered how tall his head is?
Yeah.
How do you think they do that?
Put a tall head. How they do it?
Yep.
Don't know. Well, how do you think they do it? I know you've probably got an answer. You're asking me, but
I think what they do is they do that thing, you know, how there's sometimes a school project where you make a volcano and volcanoes out the
Paper
top.
mache.
Paper mache. I think they do that but without the volcano thing.
Okay.
Or twist. They do put the volcano thing in there. So he's going to erupt.
It's part of his species.
Yeah. And we're like, when's this guy going to erupt?
Yeah, wow, I would like to see that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's also the attack on the Wookiees guy. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? He's that guy.
I don't know what that is.
There's a meme where like they're sitting in the council in episode 3 and he goes, "What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?" And Yoda's like, "Yeah, I'll take that one."
Okay.
Yeah. So
Good meme.
Again, he was the guy who got Yoda sent away during the big Jedi purge. Again, he's a complete dumbass, and whether he's here or not is completely inconsequential. Mesa.
Whoa.
Anyway, I'm going to keep watching it and having opinions on it.
That's true.
Because I have to.
Sure.
This is by Daniel Richmond, who has a 77.6% accuracy in terms of scoops.
Not bad.
According to Marvel Studios Spoilers Reddit. Apparently, Michael Leslie was recently tapped to write the X-Men MCU reboot.
Interesting. Okay.
And his pitch...
Who's that? Who's Michael Leslie?
That's a great question.
Isn't it, though?
I'm glad you asked, because I was actually looking to Google something right now. I was like, God, I wish I could Google
Right?
something.
You're Googling fingers
Just
are itching.
anything. Just anything at all. He did Macbeth 2015, which we recently talked about because the director of that did Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
He wrote
yeah.
The Hunger Games. The President Snow is blonde.
Nice.
He wrote The Pigeon Tunnel. He wrote
Okay.
Now to C3.
Where are all these pigeons coming from? I think it might be cut to black. Titles The Pigeon Tunnel.
Should we seal up the Pigeon Tunnel? Yep. I think we should. He wrote Assassin's Creed 2016.
That's a bad movie.
No, it's a
but
good movie.
But here's the thing as well. You can't necessarily
No,
blame
it was Michael Fassbender's. We figured it out. Michael Fassbender was the problem.
Yeah, that's right.
Was his
you
idea.
can't blame a bad movie just on the people who wrote it because a lot of the time,
Yeah.
a lot of changes get made and they get blamed.
It says here he wrote Hamlet, which is an upcoming film. Didn't Hamlet already come out? Didn't somebody already write Hamlet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Anyway, his pitch to Marvel was the same character roster in X-Men 97,
Right.
which is probably a smart move, I guess.
Yeah.
So, which would mean Cyclops, Jean Grey, Storm, Wolverine, Gambit, Beast, Rogue, and Morph? and Morph? You put
All right.
Morph in it?
You put Morph in there,
Yeah. Make Morph a big player. Yeah, there you go.
And you give him really bad early 90s morphing abilities.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Morphing abilities. So I guess it wouldn't mean that it's the same universe. It would mean people like that show and
Yes.
it's the popular team that people know. We
That's
speculated that they were probably going to go back to the original one from like the original comic, but
Yeah.
this probably makes more sense actually because that's the X-Men team and lineup and show that people remember.
Exactly.
And it's still going and people like it now still.
It's true.
Yeah. And I guess then you end up casting Bishop, Cable, etc. All the time traveling guys, Mason.
Yep.
All the goddamn time traveling guys showing
That's
up and being
right.
like, I'm your son or I'm your father or whatever. All those X-Men
Is that the one
stories.
guy?
Yes, the
I'm your
one.
son or I'm your father. I've forgotten. I went through a time tunnel. I've forgotten everything.
I would love to go through a time tunnel.
Well, that's wonderful.
Or a pigeon
But
tunnel.
I don't think you have to introduce those guys at all. In fact,
They will eventually, don't you think?
Maybe.
They're going to do it. I think they're just going to do all the classic storylines if they get around to it.
Yeah. Mhm.
And or maybe they'll just jump straight to Dark Phoenix again.
Oh, yeah. We can only hope.
Mason.
Yes, go on.
Mason,
Hello.
I got a big Blade article here on the
Love
movie
that.
Blade.
Oh, famously untroubled production, Blade.
Mate, you're thinking of
A different
some
movie?
of the other Blade movies, but
I'm
not the third one.
I'm thinking of probably a different movie that they made and produced and released without
they
any
Blade.
difficulty.
Yeah,
No,
that they Blade.
no.
That they Blade. That's why THR. The article is titled,
What's the airstrike rate? The Hollywood Reporter.
it says 100 million.
Percent.
Yeah,
Huh.
which is possible. So I'm not going to elaborate though. Scribes, no, what's it called? No.
Blade.
No, listen.
Okay.
The article is titled, Why Blade Can't Cut Through Development Hell.
Oh.
He's got that sword.
Blunt blade.
He's got that sword. So this is the end of the article, but I just thought it'd be a nice thing to start with.
No, why don't you become an editor over at the Hollywood Reporter?
I will if they ask me. In fall of 2022, Bo DeMeyer, who created X-Men 97, takes his own stab, described it as a period piece. Then April of 2023, with the writer strike looming, Marvel shells out for True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto to write. He worked with the Blade star Ali on the season 3 of that
true, he
series.
did.
In fall of 2023, after losing the director Bassem Tariq, Marvel taps Michael Starbury to write a new script with new director Jan Demange. In fall of 2023, the studio hires Michael Green, known for well-received genre movies like Logan and Blade Runner 2049. And then summer
Logan?
Logan
Blade Runner 2049.
and in summer 2024, with Demange exiting as director, Marvel brings in studio mainstay Eric Pearson, who has pushed scripts for Thor, Ragnarok, Black Widow, and Fantastic Four over the finish line. So that's the Blade timeline
okay.
as we record, as we speak. That's not all, Mason.
Oh. Well, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I think Mahershala Ali's lawyer was like, released a statement that was like, boy, this has been going for a while.
This has
isn't
never
it?
happened.
And your lawyer doesn't just accidentally let that slip.
absolutely not.
It feels very much like a statement of, we're going to say this to lay the groundwork for the guy quitting.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know?
Yeah, which I think that's where this is going.
Because Mahershala Ali,
Yeah.
2-time Oscar winner,
Yep.
and then for like 5 years,
Yep.
hasn't done a ton of stuff.
No.
Like he seems to be. He did that. He did the season of True Detective. He's in the Spider-Verse movies. He's Prowler.
Yeah.
Oh, Aaron Davis.
Yep.
But like in terms of live action stuff or doing big movies, he's kind of waiting. It seems
He's in Alita Battle Angel, maybe.
Is he?
I don't know.
Okay then.
Is he?
He is. Yeah.
Yes.
He's Vector.
I love Vector.
Yeah.
He had little glasses, I think, much like Blade sometimes. So the latest setback, of course, was that lost its director, as mentioned, and they're currently looking for somebody else. Sources say this is, that both Marvel and Demange, the director, grew frustrated with Blade's prolonged development process, and also Mahershala Ali is said to be increasingly frustrated. Now, I've heard from a fairly reliable source who I will not name that he does have a lot of sway on this project because he was the one also who went to Marvel initially.
And he won those 2 Oscars.
He won the Oscars and was like, I want to do this character.
Yeah.
This
It'll
article,
be my Black Panther.
yeah, it's exactly what this article says. Yeah. So he's allowed to, he can veto things. He wants to make, I mean, he's also a very talented person and he knows what works and what doesn't. So I think, yeah, he probably does have a lot of demands for this because he wants, as mentioned, to be his Black Panther. He wants to make it good. He doesn't want to just push out a whatever script.
Okay, but Mr.
or
Ali, have you
whatever movie.
considered what if we made it bad? We made it quick and we made it bad.
Yeah, you could be in it still. Is that something you're interested in? Yeah. So he apparently handpicked the second director after the first director left.
Yeah.
And at that point, Blade was in pre-production and about 2 months from principal photography. That was in September of 2022. But then Marvel came to believe that Tariq was not the best fit for the project, according to sources, who was the first director. They then presented him with a list of directors and he conducted his own search, which found the director, Demange, who just left. So that's how we got to where I said that in a very confusing way, but that's basically what happened. As mentioned here, he's exercising an inordinate amount of influence over the project as the star in few ways that other Marvel actors have before. again, the initial idea to bring Blade back comes from him. He pushed for it.
That's right.
Yeah. He was already a Netflix Marvel character. He was in...
That's right. Yeah, he's in Luke Cage.
Luke Cage, yeah. But that was obviously before Oscars,
Yeah.
etc. So it also got shut down again due to the writers and actors strike. And as a result of that, they lost a number of actors, including Delroy Lindo and Aaron Pierre. That also apparently doesn't happen often, where they just kind of wipe out a bunch of the cast. It also got more writers at this point as well.
Okay.
So that was
More writers always a good thing.
Definitely. Ali's attorney, Shelby Weiser, told THR in a recent interview the deal was in 2019 and they still haven't shot it, which is pretty much the craziest thing in my professional experience.
Whoa.
Do you think that was an accident, Mason? You mentioned that might have been an accident.
I think he probably accidentally slipped up and said that, yeah. They just said, do you have any thoughts on anything? And he said, my client's going to quit. My client's going to quit Blade. Oh, no, I shouldn't have said that. Is this on the record? It is. Oh, no. I didn't say, can you take it off the record? I'm such a bad lawyer.
Yeah, that's all in there, basically.
Yeah.
So even Wesley Snipes has chimed in. Did you see that?
He said, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy.
He wrote Blade, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. They wrote Sniped. Sniped
Nice.
on
That's
X.
good. That's good.
That's good. Apparently, also a big part of it was that there wasn't enough attention paid into it, said one insider.
What does that mean?
Yeah, well, it was the casualty of the too much era. So remember they were doing a million shows and a million movies. So it was just like, oh, this one's kind of a given that this will work and we've got a great creative team, I guess. And nobody was really focused on it.
Nobody said, hey, can you start work on that? They just hired the creative team and they said, we'll give you an email. We'll send you an email. It was for a lot of them, it was the perfect setup. It's like that anti-work situation where they assigned him, but they didn't ask him to do any work. So they were all just sitting there for 6 months. We're just assuming this is going to be great. Kevin, did you ask them to start writing and casting and building sets and stuff? Oh no, I forgot. I'm such a bad Kevin Feige. I'm going to get fired.
You're a good Kevin Feige.
Oh, I guess I'm all right.
Apparently, all this explains why the storyline keeps shifting time periods. So the original one that was going to shoot last year was set in the 1920s, according to sources, and that one featured Mia Goth as a vampire villain named Lilith who wanted the blood of Blade's daughter.
Okay.
She's still attached, apparently, and she's just Maxine is coming out soon.
It is, yeah.
X3, whatever it's called, X-Men 3. Is that right?
What?
She's in the X trilogy.
Yeah, Maxine is the
X3.
third one. Yes. X and Pearl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw recently some people went to see a screening of Pearl, but then it turned out to be actually a screening, like an advanced screening for Maxine.
Wow.
And some people were like, and I had this thought, and it was
What if you haven't seen?
It was confirmed by some of the people in the audience who tweeted about it, who were like, I wanted to see Pearl. I hadn't seen Pearl. Now I'm lost.
I've only seen the first one. I should watch them. For another iteration under Tariq, Marvel built a massive train set, but they never used it. It might be passed on to a different Disney production.
Yeah, okay.
So
maybe the X-Men reboot when they just do...
spin a train again?
They do Dark Phoenix again. But they've decided to refocus on what worked in that movie, which was a spinning train.
I did enjoy the spinning train.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that. You can't convince me otherwise.
I won't.
Yeah, good. Apparently, this new take on Blade is set in the present day.
We built this train, but can you use the train later? I guess we can use the train later. No, we can't. Chuck it in the bin. Throw away the train.
Yeah, throw it away, man. It's unclear how many millions Marvel has spent on Blade, counting the development and pre-production costs, but it's not stopping now. Marvel has learned in recent years that it does not pay to be rushed into production, and the studio prides itself on having a high development to production ratio, something that eludes most other companies. The new plan calls for a script to be written. Oh, yeah.
Nice,
good.
great start.
Over the summer, and then get a director.
Nice.
So that's what you want.
That's great.
You need those things,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say at a minimum, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Oh, and a big train?
Yeah, well, I mean, they've got one.
Oh, they've
It
got the
says here
big
they've
train.
already got one.
Okay, that's perfect.
They could build a second big train.
Yeah, and they can crash them together.
I think you should throw out
And they
the
get
first
Mr.
big train.
Beast involved.
We bought the train from Blade. We're going to crash it into someone's house. They don't know.
But it's all right, we bought the house from under them. They don't even own the house anymore.
Oh, man. I think he's going to leave.
Yeah, of course
I
he's
don't
gonna
think
leave,
he's
yeah.
going to sit around for
No.
this. Yeah, which is a shame. Because, again, like, he's 50 now.
Yeah.
And they're talking Midnight Suns and whatever. Apparently, Wesley Snipes might be in the new Deadpool movie.
Yeah,
they might
maybe.
even just go back to him for a while.
Maybe,
They
sure.
Also, isn't TV Blade maybe in the last Deadpool and Wolverine trailer.
Oh yeah, he might be. What's Onyx?
That's the
rapper.
rumor.
Yeah, okay.
So that would be fun.
Yeah.
If somebody points to him, Deadpool, and says, "That's TV Blade."
yeah.
Would you like that? Would that make you laugh?
Yeah. That
That would make Mason laugh, and that's what the movie's aiming for.
I'd go ha in the cinema really
TV
loudly.
Blade,
Yeah.
a show I haven't seen. I assume. Have you seen it? TV Blade.
No.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. Anyway, people have also been asking when are we going to do our Blade Caravan of Garbage for Blade 2 and 3 because we already did one. We did the first one when Blade was announced.
Sorry, it was Sticky Fingers.
Oh,
Was
okay.
the guy who played Blade. Is he in a rap group called Onyx? He is.
God, you're very good.
Thank
Even when you're wrong, you're right.
That's right.
Yeah. We'll get to the Blade Caravan of Garbages when they get to it.
That's right. This isn't our fault.
Yeah.
We're ready to go.
I've been ready
I've
for
seen
years.
those movies heaps.
When the hell did we make that one? Either? When did we make it, Mason? Let me check. Let me go to my YouTube. That was in August of 2019. It's 5 years ago. We made that video.
Oh, we've recorded one.
For the first one.
Did we?
Yeah, it was that long ago.
Wow.
Half a decade ago.
Wow.
Yeah. We'll come back to it though, won't we?
One of the some of the great lost media, James.
Completely
I was
agree.
going, duh, Blade.
Blade. Pretty cool sword blade. Pretty good.
Pretty good sword blade. Shame if something would have happened to it.
Remember the bit of somebody else grabs the blade and then a blade comes out of it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to do 3 horror movies. We might just do the one. What do you reckon?
Okay, all right.
And do you think, Mason, we
Yes.
should do the one about the big spider?
Yes.
So this is a movie called Sting.
So we watched 3 horror movies. I watched them in this order. I watched
Yep.
Sting.
Yep.
I watched Immaculate. Then I watched Abigail.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that's a great order of movies.
I think it was a
to
great
watch
order
it
for
in.
movies, and I'll tell you for why.
tell you
Because
me
I
for
think
why.
Sting is a sort of a great sort of re-entry into horror movies. You haven't seen one for a while.
Yeah.
Because it was quite a good-natured horror movie.
Yes.
It wasn't like, well, in this one, we're going to really ask some questions about the nature of evil or whatever. It was like, what if a spider got really big? Well, that would be bad. But what if Australian national treasure Noni Hazelhurst were there? Well, that would be good.
That would be good.
That would be
I was
good.
going to ask you what the story was, but you've explained it. What if a spider got big?
It's a spider from space. by
Yeah,
the way.
it comes from space.
But it looks exactly like a redback spider.
It does, which is but it's also set in New York or something.
Well, here's the thing. What's interesting as well, if this movie hadn't spoiled itself by saying this is a movie created by Screen Australia for Australia in Australia,
Yeah.
I'd be like, this is
American.
this is American. So this is a movie filmed in Australia with predominantly Australian actors. A lot of them have had credits in America.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's all Australians.
Yep.
And it's set in New York City, baby.
Yeah. I mean, there's like a couple of shots of outside,
Yeah.
but not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's set in a sort of a somewhat rundown apartment block.
Very latest
Evil Dead?
Evil Dead.
Yeah.
But less kind of gross and
Well, see, that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's not like mean or cruel, this movie. It's
Yeah.
not like, it's not
it's
like,
just there's a big spider.
yeah, and it's not evil. Like it's a tiny little kind of asteroid
Yep.
comes from space, presumably, and crashes through a window
Mm-hmm.
and lands in this apartment building, and a little girl who's
She was in Furiosa. She was little Furiosa.
her main pastime is sort of crawling through the vents of this apartment building.
Yep.
She finds the little spider and she decides she's going to put it in a jar and feed it and see how it goes. And anyway, it turns out it's going to be a big spider and it's going to try and eat everybody.
That's right. That's its deal.
Yeah, so this is, I had to look up her name again, but it's a Lila Brown who plays young Furiosa in the movie Furiosa. Now, we didn't talk about this because I don't think we knew at the
didn't-
time.
no, I
we
know
were
what
like,
you're
you know
saying.
where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
You and I were both like, it's weird that they got a little kid who looks so much like Anya Taylor-Joy. She's got the big far apart eyes
Yeah.
and everything. So apparently that's a lot of face replacement.
Yeah. She
So-
doesn't look like her
At all. No, that's right. Yeah,
Pretty good work there, yeah.
that's right.
This isn't. I don't know what the budget of this, but it's on streaming at the moment. But it's only made like 1.7 million at the box office. But I think it's
would
kind of
say-
like it feels like Gremlins-esque. I guess there's a bit of kind of Gremlins.
I
kind
felt
of vibe.
it, quite Gremlins-esque a little bit. Remember, I mean, in terms of spiders, if you remember that old film
Arachnophobia?
Arachnophobia, which I
Yeah,
think
a bit
might
of
have been
that.
a Disney film.
Oh my god! Yeah,
Yeah, I would say the budget is quite low, but they've used it quite cannily.
yes. The director of this, you might know, his name is Kiara Roach Turner. He did, the Wormwood series? Like
Vaguely.
apocalyptic kind of zombie sort of Mad Max.
Oh, sure, right, okay, yep.
Movie. So this is this is a more kind of mainstream, I guess, sort of project.
But I would say, and again, I do not have any children, so it's hard for me to say for reals, but vaguely remember being a child.
Yeah.
I reckon if you had kids that were maybe the same age as the girl in this movie,
So like 10-ish maybe?
12, 13,
Yeah.
something like that, you could probably show them this.
Yeah.
If they're like, I want to watch a horror movie, you could show them this because it's not, there's a couple of gory kills in it, but it's not too
No.
violent or, like mean or anything
And it's
like
not
that.
really something that can happen to you.
Correct,
You know,
yes.
it's not like a person bursting into your room and
Yeah.
choking you to death or whatever, which
Exactly.
can happen to
That
you.
can definitely happen, and you should prepare for it at any moment. We have so many locks on the studio door.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, because going into this, I hadn't even seen a poster or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what kind of spider it was going to be.
Oh, okay.
But it's quite a friendly spider. I mean, it's a murderous spider.
Initially, it's a pretty friendly spider to some.
My least favorite type of spider is the ones that are like big and furry.
But they're not even poisonous.
That's true.
/ venomous.
Yeah. But this is quite a spindly spider.
No, this is my
it's
least.
a smooth.
Yeah, this is my
spider.
least favorite kind of spider because these are the dangerous ones.
Okay.
Like a redback. It's a giant redback, which is an incredibly poisonous spider in Australia. I reckon I've seen one in my life.
All right.
Maybe they're not around much. Maybe 2, maybe 3.
Wow.
I saw that giant one.
Oh yeah.
Scuttered through my apartment.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was busy. I didn't have
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
I didn't have time for it. Yeah. This is not a spider that you find scary then.
Correct.
Yeah. So the furry ones, even though those ones generally,
Yeah.
the arachnophobia spider, it's like a type of tarantula or whatever. It's not.
I guess I'm not scared of them. I'm just gross.
Yeah, because it's like
Oh, I'm not gross.
No.
They're gross. Like,
Well,
you
they
know,
think you're
you know,
gross.
sometimes you go to a zoo enclosure or something like that, and they're like, "You want to put a spider on you?" I'd be like, "No," because I would swat it.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't help myself. If you look, then it's not poisonous. He's a friendly guy. I'd be like, and I'd
Yeah.
slap it, and they'd be like, "That was expensive. We got it from Africa." And I'd be like, "Well,
Get another one."
I've stepped on it now. What are you going to do about it? I didn't like it."
What about snakes? I go to a lot of parties now where kids parties where they'll bring out like a giant snake or whatever.
I'm
or
indifferent
a
to
little
snakes,
alligator,
yeah.
and often they'll be like, "Who wants to put the snake on them?" And I'm indifferent to snakes. It's like the acolyte of animals. It's like, so I'm like, no, I don't want a snake on me. But I would do it if someone's like, "Do it." I'd be like, "All right, put a snake
right.
on me."
Uh-huh.
I'm snake agnostic.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so as far as this movie goes, if you didn't tell me it was an Australian movie, I probably wouldn't have. I think everybody's accent cracks maybe once.
Sure, okay.
But I would say generally, like the roles in this, everybody's pretty good. You know, you've got the mum, and there's a new stepdad, and
Penelope Mitchell, Ryan Core.
very good ensemble. I thought
Yep.
you get a couple of you got a kind of an eccentric exterminator guy.
Oh,
who
he's
was
fun.
You've
Jermaine
got a-
Fowler, yeah.
You've got a kind of upstairs neighbor weirdo
Yep.
who delivers some exposition on spiders.
Yeah. Good. God, that spider.
And Noni Hazelhurst is there.
Danny Hazlitt, yeah.
Former
yeah,
host
yeah.
of Play School.
That's right. And also Better Homes and Gardens.
Sure.
She was married to John Jarrett, who people might know from the
Wolf Creek
Wolf
movies.
Creek movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, what else do we say in terms of, did we spoil some stuff or?
There's not really a lot to spoil. I mean, it's a
the
big
spider's about.
It's a big spider, and it stalks the.
You know what? I wish it was bigger. It gets big, but it's probably, what's it as big as, would you say?
I would say it's the body of it would be as big as like a German Shepherd, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't reckon it's even that big.
Okay.
Not to,
Not to brag.
not to
Not to brag, but you've conceived of bigger spiders than this in your
Definitely.
mind.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. I mean, if you ever see like 8-legged freaks, that's like
Yeah.
that's a bloody spider.
James, I reckon we have time to knock out a few more
Okay,
horror
we could
movie
do a
reviews.
few more. Why not?
I thought it was the best movie ever. I don't think it was great necessarily.
It's a giant spider movie.
It is a giant spider movie.
It's also
Again,
a lot of it is practical as well. It
Yeah.
seems. Yeah.
I would say, good solid movie for kids, good concept. And yeah, it's nice to see an Australian movie. They make an Australian movie.
I like
You know?
Australian movie too.
Yeah.
What about this movie? Do you want to do Abigail?
Let's talk about Abigail.
So with Abigail,
Yes.
it's they kidnap a girl.
They.
Just a
It's
group.
it's a heist crew. It's
a
a kind
heist
of
crew,
very
It's got Dan Stevens.
very
It's got-
very stereotypical heist crew. You got a computer guy.
Yep.
who's a girl,
Yep.
if you can believe it.
You've
You got
got-
a driver, you got a sniper,
You got a dumb guy.
You got a dumb guy. Melissa Barrera is there.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is there. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Dan Stevens.
And
is
they've all been
mentioned.
tasked with kidnapping a girl and holding her for ransom in a spooky mansion.
Yep.
For 24 hours until they get the money.
And if you've seen the trailer, what you know,
Yes.
it's a minor spoiler. It's a Dracula girl.
Oh, okay.
She's a
right.
big vampire.
Uh-huh.
Not a big vampire. She's a girl
little vampire. Yes, that's right.
And the whole thing is just basically it's a trap for them.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is one of those movies that spoils the premise of the movie within the trailer.
Yeah.
But there you have it.
The-
Not our fault.
No,
Your fault.
The little
movie.
girl's great. It's Alicia Weir, who also played Matilda in the Matilda movie recently.
That's right. Yes.
She's a lot of fun in this.
And I would say I looked up a little bit of behind the scenes afterwards because she's doing a lot of dancing. She's doing a lot of like running along banisters and stuff like that. And a lot of that is real. Like they put her in the harness.
Yeah.
So she can.
I mean, it's the way to make it look the best.
yeah.
You know. So it becomes this. I was like, God, this reminds me of Ready or Not, and it's the directors.
Same
of
directors, yeah.
Ready or Not.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
Well,
actually.
it is the same kind of, locked in a big mansion kind of situation, except in
Bags of blood exploding, kind of.
yeah, except in Ready or Not, it's one woman versus a family of lunatics, and in this, it's one tiny lunatic versus a team of people who are not prepared for a tiny
but are
lunatic.
also lunatics.
They're also lunatics a lot in
I like
cases, yes.
that it does, even though it's the real world, I guess. It's a lot of the vampire lore stuff is in it, and there's other stuff that you don't necessarily see as much. Where it's like if you get bitten, they can like marionette you, like that kind of mind control Dracula powers and etc. I think it's gory, but it's not like.
It's bloody.
Yeah, it's bloody. I would say that's probably
So
more
much
accurate.
blood.
It's not. You don't really. It's not like.
Remember the amount of blood in the movie Ready or Not?
Yeah,
it's about
that much.
Yeah.
It's not so much. It's not torture porny. It's just like
Yeah.
heads explode, kind of. If that even happens in it, but
Yeah.
it's like that kind
It
of
does
thing.
it does have all sort of the hallmarks of those previous directors. Like it's
Oh yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of blood. There's characters who are awful but still somewhat likable.
Yes. Absolutely. So it's done okay at the box office. Actually, maybe not, because at a budget of $28 million and it made 42. So not a huge return, but it's probably doing all right on streaming. So yeah, it probably hasn't made its money back in cinemas.
Sorry if you're one of the creators of the movie Abigail and you're listening to this right now waiting for an update. You've just learned with us that it's done okay, I guess.
Yeah. It's also it's pretty tight, like in terms of runtime.
Yeah. That's what I like about these horror movies.
Yeah.
Quick.
Absolutely. I would also say the mansion elements of it, because it is kind of, it's a bit Werewolf by Night, that latest thing.
Yeah,
A bit Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Mansion, like, secret panels and hidden doors and secrets and who's behind what. And
Giancarlo Esposito's
that's
behind
right.
a lot.
He's in it as well. But he's in it at the start, if you were wondering. If he just shows up at the end. Well, he does, but he's also in it earlier, isn't he, Mason?
God, we're good at describing how movies go.
I completely agree. Spoilers, I guess.
That's spoilers. I'm going to say best movie ever. Again, it's kind of a light and breezy one. It's more action comedy, I feel, than maybe.
Yeah, okay.
It's more an action horror than you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wonder if that's because I knew what the twist was going in. Like I knew she was going to be a little vampire girl.
Yes.
So I'm just waiting for her to explode.
Yeah, okay.
Like I'm like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But if you
And they
did-
built to that quite interestingly.
But I think had I not known, there would have been more tension because I'd be wondering how this is going to unfold.
Yeah, okay.
That being said, you got a little girl in one of these movies. Of course, she's going to turn to a monster.
Yeah,
Come
absolutely.
on.
Yeah, it's also like, it's not that she is a vampire girl. She's also been a vampire girl for a while. So she has the mind of like an adult,
Yes.
but the acting ability of an actor. So she,
Yeah.
she can pretend to be scared and whatever, and basically to lure people in before she
Yeah.
goes full vampire on everybody.
Yeah, but I think it did do a very good job of like setting up a bunch of characters, who deserve to die.
Yeah.
For the most part, and then just knocking them off in a really satisfying way.
Absolutely. So I guess more twists in it. Dan Stevens becomes a Dracula,
That's right.
which he loves. He
loves
being
it,
Dracula.
yeah.
And literal Dracula is in this.
But it's Matthew Good.
And he goes, hello.
Did Ready or Not have like who was the devil in that? Remember the devil shows up at
Oh,
the
like
end?
in a painting or whatever?
No, but he
Like-
shows up because he's the guy that made the
Yeah. I know there's like a wink from like a ghost shows up at the end.
Okay, right.
Or something.
Uh huh.
I don't think this is as good as Ready or Not.
Interesting.
I think I
okay.
enjoyed Ready or Not more. Mm-hmm. But I think also like going into Ready or Not, I didn't really know.
Well, Ready or Not also is a fresher premise, I think. The
Totally.
idea of, I mean, we even saw this on Dracula on a Plane, if
Yeah.
you remember correctly. Like, so, which is, terrorists take over a plane, but they're unaware that one of the woman on the plane is also a Dracula.
Yes.
And she tears through them, and it's fun.
Yeah.
That I think, by its nature, if you're going to have this sort of thing, I think there's some tropes you have to run through, and Ready or Not is different in that it is not a premise that I'd encountered before.
Yeah.
It's
You weren't ready or not for it.
I wasn't ready or not for it.
Yeah. But anyway, then Melissa Barrera gets away. Everybody else gets smushed.
Yes.
But Dracula lets her go.
That's
which was
right.
nice of Dracula because he normally doesn't do that, does he? And he's a bad dad.
That's
but
right.
But a good Dracula.
Yes.
He loves his
Yeah.
work.
I guess I enjoyed the twist that the everybody in the mansion, they're there because they've wronged the mob boss in some way.
Yeah.
And they all live in fear of this mob boss's kind of legendary, invisible, sort of heavy hitter, killer
Yeah.
who's knocked off so many people in the past and can,
Get in a room.
get in a room, go up into a 5th-story building, and
Yeah.
and then it turns out it's just his daughter because
Yeah.
she is, murderous.
Yeah, and trying to get his attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll do another one of these. I think there's room in the Abigail cinematic universe.
Absolutely.
For more Dracula children running back. I also like that they all know what a vampire is.
Yeah.
It's not a universe where they're like, what's happening? What's a vampire? What's a Dracula? They know.
They know.
They know because they live in this world.
Yeah.
But, this world doesn't have a Dracula
That we know about.
that we know about. All right, should we do Immaculate?
Let's knock it off real quick. I thought this was fine.
I liked it.
I think the
I liked it a
backstory.
lot.
I think the backstory to this to me is more interesting than the movie. So,
Okay.
So we've maybe mentioned this in past, but
Directed by Michael Mohan. Yeah.
some years ago, Sydney Sweeney auditioned for a version of this,
It's like maybe 10 years ago. yeah.
and it ended up not getting produced because they couldn't find the funding for it. But then now that she's had success in movies and TV shows and etc., she came on as a
Pretty
producer
much drove the
and
whole
she
thing, yeah.
she got it going, and so she's the star of this. And so she plays a woman who has decided to join the nunnery, the nunhood, the
Italian
sisterhood,
nunnery,
the
though.
Italian nunhood,
Yeah.
only to find a bit of a dark underbelly.
Yep.
You know?
I really want to go into spoilers for this. So it's very much, well, there's a new one this
Are we in
year.
spoilers for it yet? Are
No,
we? Okay,
we
good.
can be. It's
No?
like it's the omen of like it's called Immaculate because there's an apparent immaculate conception which happens to her. So it's perceived, and she's told that it's this miracle of God. It's the second coming of Jesus, and all of these things. And like for me, I'm like, oh, is this just going to be like in terms of the omen, where it's oh no, this is a satanic cult, and this is not really. Is this spoilers?
No, but I was going to say, it's funny you mentioned that because as I understand it, the movie The First Omen also came out quite recently.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything about it, but as I understand it, a lot of the plot elements, there's a certain amount of crossover. And I
Yeah,
think that's
I've heard
maybe
that
why
too,
I'm
yeah.
critical of this. Because to me, it feels like whenever you do a movie in this arena, there are a lot of plot elements that cross over and repeat over and over and over again.
Because you
And I guess
kind of have to.
You
is
kind of
that-
have to
yeah.
because it's like, okay, well, what if you go and it's a religious organization, but it's kind of like a cult, but everybody's supposed to be good, but maybe some of them are bad,
Yeah, man.
and maybe it's all about Jesus, but what about the Antichrist? Like it's kind of all the themes sort of and plot elements sort of overlap over and over again. I'm like, I don't know if I've seen like. I think the story behind the production of this is interesting, but I feel like this movie is nothing I haven't seen before.
Okay, so I thought it was. We'll have to do some spoilers though for why. Just quickly, we will do spoilers right after this. But the budget is $9 million.
God, when are we going to get to the spoilers?
We're gonna get there.
One of these two idiots going to get to the bloody spoilers. I can't wait.
The budget is $9 million. The box office return was $27 million. So this one's done pretty well.
Okay.
So what I liked about it is that there's no supernatural element to it.
Sure.
So I thought it was going to go a certain way.
But I thought there is an element that I feel threw me for a loop a little bit.
We'll
We'll talk about it in spoilers.
Yeah, well, we're in it, Mason.
Oh, we're in spoilers now?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still going to say best movie ever.
I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed this.
I think there was a good cast. I like the old Italian nuns. I like that the young Australian nun who's just like, ugh.
Oh.
Hey, Sydney Sweeney, welcome, and also shut up.
Yeah, I think so. Basically, what it is, the church has done, or this particular sect, they've found one of the nails which was used to nail Jesus to the cross 2,000 or so years ago.
Yeah.
This is a rough timeline.
Yeah.
Don't want to get into the semantics of it, Mason.
Okay.
And they got some DNA from that and have been using that DNA to try and bring upon the second coming of Christ using DNA and cloning techniques. And so they've been doing this for a while, and Sydney Sweeney is the latest person they have done this to.
Yeah.
But it's always gone badly, and always like weird, deformed things for various reasons. And I think a big part of that is because their science is not good. If you look at like their facility,
they've got one of those ridged boards that you use to wash your clothes in a river, and they're just throwing DNA at it.
Yeah, it really does feel like that. So like, no wonder it's not working. Like this. Like these are people who not only are they like got a twisted sense of like morality, and even the idea that you would attempt to do this is insane in itself, but they also don't have the scientific know-how to do this in any realistic way that could work. And it doesn't work because the big controversial part of many things in this is at the end she does give birth, and you don't see the baby, but you hear
it
it
sounds pretty rough.
Yeah, you hear it like breathing and struggling, and she picks up a rock and like kills the baby.
Because she's given birth to a designer dog.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
She's given birth to one of those pugs that whistles while it walks.
Yeah.
And it's got holes in it. And the wind blows through it.
Like a block of cheese, Mason.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends. But it's that's also like could be considered like an act of mercy, because none of these birds have ever been successful. Also, there's a very good chance that what they're doing here is not Jesus. There could be just a nail that they found.
Sure.
And who knows? Like, did they even get DNA off it? What are they even doing?
Maybe they got DNA of the guy who nailed it on there.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I mean, it wouldn't even, the science doesn't even support, you just couldn't do it, so that's what I liked about it.
Classic the church.
Yeah, but it was kind of a broader commentary on,
Bodily autonomy.
Yeah, exactly.
And the church telling you what to do.
Yes.
And, giving over your autonomy to a
put your faith in
a thing.
Yeah.
But again, I've seen all that,
Yeah, no, I understand that.
In real life, in the real church.
Well, we did grow up in those.
That's
the
right.
kind of thing. But so that's what I did enjoy.
Well, that's what you think.
It wasn't this all.
That's what James thunk.
It wasn't this all powerful. It didn't have the.
That's been our segment. That's what James thunked.
It wasn't like this $1 billion operation.
Sure, right.
It was this backdoor kind of basement, kind of not even like cult, I guess. Yeah. That's what I liked about it. Yeah. All of these though, I would recommend for different reasons.
Folks, if you have any more recommendations for horror movies, get an email. Let us know.
Because as you know, Mason, I probably don't need to tell you this, but we're approaching the spookiest time of the year.
Oh, that's true.
And I'm not just talking about tax time, which it is in Australia, by the way. Get your taxes in.
It is too, isn't it?
Yeah. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So yeah, I don't know. It's good. It's good. Just they don't even be horror movies. I think we should do this every now and then. Of just be like, here's movies that we can't do a whole episode on. We'll just quickly.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
If you know what,
Bad Boys 4.
That's right. If you're out there and you like a certain genre, if you like Garfield movies and you think we should watch a bunch of Garfield movies, let us know. Or if there's a genre, horror or what have you.
It can just be 3 movies also.
Just send us 3 movies and say you should watch these 3 movies.
Watch 3
and if we've got a
movies.
slow week,
Yeah.
what should we do next week?
I did have something. There is some. There's a Quiet Place movie coming out.
That's right, yeah.
It's the prequel.
is.
Quiet Place Origins.
Yeah.
Quiet
You can
Place.
be a bit loud now.
Yeah. Until the spider.
Yeah.
Spiders from space. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's good.
Yeah. Let us know. Or if there's more horror movies that you think we should check out. If you as a horror movie
We should do
aficionado,
The Omen,
if
I
you
guess.
listen to this and you're like, I can't believe you watched those 3 and not my favorite movie.
We did watch your favorite movie. We just didn't like it. That's why we're not talking about it.
That's right.
We saw it.
Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah. So yeah, next week Quiet Place and then other things, Mason.
Big weekend for
oh my God, Horizon: An American Saga Chapter 1 is out on the 4th of July.
Yeah, hell yeah. We're
We're
saluting
both
the flag,
saluting.
brother.
Yeah.
That's right.
Great.
Kevin Costner left a very successful TV series and his wife to make this movie. We
gotta
got
respect
We got to
it.
respect it. We got to salute it.
We do. All right, should we move it along?
We should move along. I was just going to say,
Oh,
Inside
yeah.
Out's had a big weekend.
Oh yeah, we are. I think we're going to have a guest on to talk about that in a few weeks.
Ooh.
If we can line it up, if we can get the dates. Did I mention this? I did mention this
You
to
did
you,
mention
didn't I?
that.
Yeah.
That's right.
But maybe
That's
we
right.
won't.
Oh.
We'll see how it goes.
All right, great.
All right. What it's time for?
It's time for what we're reading.
Yep.
What are we going to read?
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? God, we just talked about all the things we've been watching and doing.
I know, right? You'd think we wouldn't have enough time
You'd think
for
that,
some other
wouldn't you?
stuff.
I've done some things.
But I've had enough time to watch a movie that's now free on streaming and a YouTube essay. So,
is that the one about the James Rolfe?
yes,
essay?
it is. That's
Very
right.
interesting
We're big
stuff.
fans of folding ideas here at
Yeah.
on
Unless he
The
turns
Weekly
on
Planet.
us.
Well, he might
I don't
turn
think
on
we're
us. You
interesting
never
enough.
know.
I don't think we're interesting
No, I
enough.
don't think.
I'm hoping so.
We haven't said anything controversial enough, I don't think.
Yeah.
Um,
or been big enough.
Yeah, and we've never said anything other than we churn out content on a weekly basis. We've never been like, we're making a big statement, actually, about art.
I'm
and
making
movies.
big statements about art.
Really? What is it?
Is
Do
it
you
not
like
coming
it?
through? I don't like it that much.
That's well, it's not coming through because it seems like you love
Well, I'm
art and
doing it
movies
all
and
wrong.
cinema.
No, I don't.
But yeah, the latest release from because I skipped the last thing he did, I think, which was one about stocks and GameStop. And
Oh,
that
I
sort of
started
thing. I
that.
watched some of that and I was like, I cannot make head nor tail of that.
Yeah.
But recently on our Caravan of Garbage for the movie Assassin's Creed, we did mention James Rolfe, the
Yes.
angry video game nerd, and this is a video about
His life and
yeah,
legacy.
his life and legacy, and whether or not he's a filmmaker, and whether anybody in YouTube is a filmmaker. Really,
I mean, I am.
well, we know, we can tell.
Thanks, man.
We can tell.
I'm the
It's all the
soul of a
sweeping.
filmmaker.
It's all the sweeping establishing shots in the caravans of garbage. You know,
Yeah.
when you do 10 things you may have missed in this movie, and it's just a beautiful horizon, akin to the movie Horizon.
Thank
yes.
you. Yeah, I think it's interesting because it also delves into like his autobiography and his history of filmmaking and how he sees himself as an artist and what has kind of happened and the people who are around him. I wouldn't say it's not an attack on him. Like the Doug
No.
Walker one was very kind of like that feels more kind of I don't know.
It's not even that one's not even strictly an attack either. It's
No,
just
it's a criticism
It's a
of-
criticism. It's a bewilderment
Yes.
of what he did. Like
Yeah.
especially his
wall.
the wall, his wall video. Yes,
Yeah.
Which again, I maintain the guy who owns the Nostalgia Critic IP made him do it.
Yeah, I think he's a guy who probably just goes along and goes, yeah, I'll talk about Rugrats or whatever,
Sure.
whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But this one I think is, because I think similar to Dan Olson, like the James Rolfe as a person, I do find like very interesting.
Yeah.
Of like how he started and like how he prioritizes things. And also I think, and they get into this of how people, there's a particular sect of fandom that just absolutely hates him because it's the same or slightly different than it used to be than the angry video game nerd. But I think we've said this before. I don't think it's not, the new stuff isn't that different than the stuff he's been doing for like decades now at this point.
And look, I'm only an occasional angry video game nerd watcher, but I also find that I'm more inclined to watch maybe one of his videos about an old monster movie or something like that than I am to watch his, because he's really reached the end of making angry video game nerd videos about really old generation video games. Like there's only a few left, and which is why he only does one like every month or every couple of months now.
Because also like that generation of gaming has like it's been mined to death.
Yeah.
And nostalgia has moved forward.
Yeah.
So the things that are now nostalgic for are things that are around when like he first started. It's a different.
But I think that, the video hits on, I think, an important point, which is that so much of YouTube criticism and YouTube criticism as entertainment wouldn't exist without James Rolfe.
Totally,
you know what I mean?
yeah. So it's his fault.
I mean, we'd still exist.
Yeah,
we
be
would have
fine.
independently done
We would have
this.
thought of it.
We would have thought of this. Probably before him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, he'll be all right as well,
He'll be all right.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen that movie. Have you seen the Angry Video
No.
Game? And it is baffling that like he didn't just do like something closer to what like he was going for like this bigger thing.
Uh-huh.
But like bringing all these other players and extra characters and scenarios where it's like it doesn't have to be like this necessarily. And
Interesting.
Anyway, he seems all right.
Yeah.
Seems like a nice enough
That's
guy.
right. I also watched the movie Anatomy of a Fall.
Oh, that's
which is
good,
the
isn't
French
it?
legal drama. I enjoyed it a lot, yeah.
Isn't it somewhat in English? sometimes?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Thank God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Mason.
because it is it's French, but some of the characters are German or Swiss or what have you.
Yeah.
And so sometimes they just need a universal language to communicate.
They all
in.
speak 9 languages.
Yeah. So, but it's just easiest to do English, as
Yep.
we know.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
way easier to do
Yeah,
English.
yeah. But it's very very good and very interesting.
All right, cool.
I don't have much to say about it because nobody shoots a laser.
Oh, not even at the end?
At the end, somebody does shoot a
Okay,
laser.
cool. I thought
Yeah,
they would have
yeah,
been,
yeah,
because
yeah.
why would they even release it
That's
otherwise?
exactly right.
Yeah. I've been watching Colin from Accounts. You
Oh
familiar
yeah, our
with
friend
this?
Broden Kelly is in an
He
episode
is.
of that. I think.
Season 2 is, which I'm not up to yet.
And that's on Bonge.com.
It's on Bonge. So basically, it's these two people that meet. Harriet, played by Harriet Dyer, and Patrick Bramall, who are, I believe they're together in real life, and they wrote and created this series. And they adopt this dog, which one of them hits with a car, who they name Colin from Accounts.
Oh.
And then it's kind of their relationship.
I thought
over-
he was Colin from Accounts.
No, he's not. His
The
name's
man.
Gordon.
Wow.
Yeah, his name's
Gordon.
Gordon. His name's Gordon Crap. It's a joke in the thing and whatever.
I love how you're explaining all these jokes.
Thanks. I really enjoy it. It's really fun and funny, and like I'd seen it and be like, oh yeah, whatever. Like I don't. This is probably not something I'll be interested in, but it's really great. There's kind of shades of a bit of what's that Phoebe Waller-Bridge show? Whatever it is.
Fleabag.
There's a bit of Fleabag in it. It's a
Interesting,
bit
okay.
of. It's
Well,
a bit
that's
of
high praise.
It's a bit of Secret Life of Us, which is
Oh,
that's a
yes.
throwback to like Australian.
Is there
TV
any
shows from, like,
shades of
20
Noni Hazelhurst?
There's not that I can see.
Okay.
Some few faces that you might recognise. Broden Kelly.
Sure.
I'm not up to that episode yet. It's one of Kumail Nanjiani's favourite shows in the moment as
Is it
well.
really?
Recently he did like a panel. I think he hosted a panel about it. But yeah, it's
Okay.
Colin from Accounts. It's fun.
And it's always good that Australian streaming services are actually making something in Australia.
Yeah.
They're using all our hard-earned money that they've stolen from us
Yep.
to make something decent.
Like
So it's
Mad
good.
Max, the recent Mad Max.
Yeah,
Remember
that's
that?
right.
They used $100 million of Australia taxpayer money to make Furiosa. People asking, what do we think about it?
Good.
I don't care.
Yeah.
They've done much worse things without, and
Absolutely.
with more money without.
And continue to do so, yes. Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
I can't believe they would give money to a private corporation to do such a thing. They've never just forked out money hand over fist
Billions.
to their mates to do nothing.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. Should we do some letters?
I think we should do letters, and in preparation for that, I'll do the letters theme.
That's great.
It is great, isn't it?
Yes.
And I'm great.
I didn't say that.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away.
We're going to here right now. We're going to do letters.
That was great, but you're not great. Now, if you want to reach the show, hashtag
I like your honesty. I respect it.
hashtag Weekly Planet Pod on Twitter, or simply weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
That's right.
Mason, you got any gmail.com?
Yeah, here's an email from Ben.
Ben?
And this is how you do it as a listener
This
of the podcast.
is how we do it.
I've got a botched tattoo and I blame you guys, not really.
All right.
Hey, mates, I meant to send this a while back, but I kept forgetting. A tattoo artist that is mates with me was moving away from my hometown of Newcastle, England, to your neck of the woods down under. That's Australia.
Okay.
I'd not got a tattoo from her yet and really wanted one. I saw she was offering up a Knuckles from Sonic design, and I decided it was the perfect opportunity to pay homage to the pod by getting the Knuckles iconic catchphrase, having a kidna sandwich,
Yes.
tattooed alongside it.
Yes.
Turned out the artist had never heard of an echidna and just winged it on the spelling, and now I have an enchilada sandwich tattooed on my leg. Well, I do wholeheartedly blame you boys for this blunder. It's not a worry. I think the misspelling is really funny and love the extra reinforcement it gives to the already impenetrable reference. Anyway, whilst I'm here, I just thought I'd say love the pod and appreciate all you guys do. Been listening since I stumbled upon episode 4 when I was 13. I'm 24 now, and all my bones ache. Cheers for all the laughs, boys. There it is.
Wow.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's amazing.
Pretty good,
I
right?
love that's a good tattoo.
Not bad.
Don't you think?
Yeah. It's good. Very monochrome. Have an enchilada sandwich.
You could explain that to people.
You can explain it to people, yeah.
Yeah. Just
I mean, you're going to be
forward this email.
I mean, you're only going to be explaining it to people in shorts weather.
Yeah.
Because that looks like
it's a shorts tattoo.
it's an above the knee tattoo. So
yeah, it would be,
yeah.
wouldn't it?
And I can reply, glad you enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, you should do it.
I will later.
Great. You won't. It's from AJ Vellante.
Anyway, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, I think.
Which we asked and you did it.
That's right. We're asking everyone out there to get a tattoo. Let's see how this goes, James.
Yeah, yeah.
We're asking everybody to get a themed Weekly Planet tattoo.
Agreed. AJ Vellante.
Okay.
on Twitter.
All right.
Hashtag Weekly Planet Pod says, kind of want to see James and Mason cover twin films.
Oh, you're like a volcano /
That's exactly right.
I was going to say Volcano Deep Impact. That's not right. Volcano
Yeah,
and Dante's
Volcano
Peak.
Deep Impact. Both movies with a similar premise with actors playing twins. I know. I just want to hear James and Mason talk about Tommy Lee Jones. It's been old forever since when watching Volcano. He was old in Volcano.
That's right.
And he's still old.
Deep Impact Armageddon.
Yes.
What are the others? There are others. There are others.
White House Down. President Attack.
Yep, that's right.
No, the other one.
Yep.
Olympus Have Fallen.
Attack of the Big President.
Yeah, I would do that at some point. There was a bunch of those in the 90s, and it kind of
Yes.
still happens occasionally, doesn't it? So, yeah, absolutely. I'm into it, Mason.
That's right.
What else do you have?
I'll
What
tell
else
you,
do you
James.
know?
Okay. This is from Benjo.
Benjo, way to
Hello
go.
from the Philippines.
Hello.
Hey, James and Meso. This is Benjo from Manila. Long-time listener, first-time writer, and I just wanted to share appreciation and love for you guys and this pod. You guys have gotten me through so many bad days and hella boring work weeks. Also,
true.
I just wanted to share that the Weekly Planet car accident curse is still alive and kicking. The other week, I was listening to the pod while driving, as I normally do, when a tricycle rams into me on the highway, no less.
A tricycle.
Luckily, no one was hurt, but it did give me a little chuckle experiencing the curse firsthand. Thank you for keeping spirits up and making me laugh more than I should. Tricycle. Does he mean one of those
Like a
motorcycles?
three-wheel motorbikes.
Like a, yeah.
Yeah.
Or does he mean a child on a tricycle?
It's a great question.
Isn't it, though?
But nobody was hurt?
Says nobody was hurt, except
God.
a child, it says.
Oh.
A child was killed.
That's bad, actually.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like it. I'll be the first to say it. I'm stepping out. Well, I'm glad you're okay, and presumably nobody was killed. All right, should I got another one?
You should have got another one.
Okay, this one's from CW sitcom era extra. It says hashtag Weekly Planet Pod. It's been over 10 years with the pod,
Oh.
YouTube, and Big Sandwich.
You got us for murder.
Depends on the murder. I always knew why I liked James.
If it's a good murder.
I always knew I liked James. Why I like James. I have mad respect for someone who rants about on their own pod about municipal BS. But Mason, I didn't know why I liked Mason until today, thanks to the Homestar Runner reference.
I love Homestar Runner.
Do you?
Yeah.
Name another reference.
Strong bad.
Very good.
You're welcome.
Very good.
Coach Z.
Yeah, man. God, that's from a different era as well.
Homsar.
Homsar, yeah.
Yeah.
If you hate Homsar why don't you kill him?
Yeah,
and then
that's
they
right.
invented the character Homsar.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you, CW Sitcom Extra.
That's right.
This is a quick last one, Mason, from Tom Pert.
Ooh.
Tom with THOM says,
Oh, Thompert.
Yeah, Thompert.
Thumpet.
Any chance I can get a big birthday shout out for my buddy Connor Webb on the next episode of the Weekly Planet podcast? It comes out on his birthday, the 23rd. Love your stuff, boys.
Oh, my goodness.
Are you happy to give Connor Webb a birthday shout out?
I'll allow it.
Okay. But are you going to do it? Or are you going to allow me to
I'll
do
allow
it?
you to do it.
Happy birthday.
To Thom.
No, to Connor Webb.
Well, I'm saying happy birthday to Thom for
It's
whatever.
not Thom's birthday.
But I'm saying in future.
Yeah?
Because maybe Connor is
What
not
if he dies before his next birthday?
still counts.
No, it doesn't. If you're dead, you don't get a birthday.
Oh, wow.
That's what God said to me this morning.
You haven't had a lot of sleep, have you?
It's not about that. Got any more?
I got two more emails. This one's from Rosie.
Rosie?
Speaking of shout outs. Hello, my boyfriend's been a long-time supporter of this podcast.
Prove it.
I feel like it's the soundtrack of my life, lol.
Oh, okay, then.
We have been going through a really rough time lately, and the podcast has been something that provides him a lot of daily comfort and joy.
Oh, thank you.
I know this may be cheeky, and I don't aim to come across as rude, but I feel it would bring him immense joy if you're able to say hello to him or something on one of your podcasts, please. His name is Richard.
Hello,
He's on the
Richard.
Patreon, I believe.
Hello, Patreon.
I give you
Richard.
more details about his favourite films, but there are too many to count, and he collects props and memorabilia from almost every film he can.
I don't think she
I
knows.
love him beyond words can
Aw.
describe, and I want to try and bring some joy to our lives during this period. It would mean the world to him.
Do you reckon she doesn't know any of his movies? You go, there's so many.
There's
I
so
couldn't
many.
even name one. There's so many.
Yeah, that's right. There's so
He collects a bunch of crap. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. From movies or about movies. I don't know.
I hear you sometimes. That's us.
That's us.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're doing all right.
Yeah, so-
And happy birthday. That's what this was.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Tom and Tom.
No, Mason. Wait, is his name Tom also?
Maybe. No, it's
THOM?
Richard.
That's what
Richard.
I thought. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you're doing all right. I hope this helps in some minor way, I guess. Yeah, I hope he hears this also.
That's right.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise, what are we doing?
I hope he never hears it. I hope he's like, I'm turning another leaf. I'm never listening to this garbage ever again.
Oh, you want him to move forward?
I'm getting up early and I'm going for a run every day.
Good on you, mate.
That's right.
Bloody good on you.
Yeah.
Getting out there. And thank you for the kind email, Rosie.
That's right.
I knew it.
And here's one more email from Moody Cheese.
Oh, no, not a
Says
Moody
you've got
cheese.
mail from a mail carrier.
Oh.
Hi, guys. I just listened to your most recent
Oh.
episode and wanted to give a shout out to the Outer Juicer because I was literally delivering Amazon packages and mail while you were reading their 5-star review. It's tough out there for us mail carriers, especially in the summer. I'm not sure where in the world the Outer Juicer is from, but thank you, James and Mason, for single-handedly keeping the United States Postal Service running by keeping me entertained. You're doing an important job for the good people of my town.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Well, very welcome, Moody Cheese.
God, it's good to make a difference, isn't it?
I think so too.
Yeah.
In a way, we're the real heroes.
And the real postman.
That's correct, yes. That's right.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
happen otherwise.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Is that the show?
That's the whole show.
God.
Folks, thank you so much for listening. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for telling your friends about the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for leaving a 5-star review on your podcast catcher of choice. If you do such a thing, if you're so bold
If you're
to do such a
that
thing,
way inclined.
that's right. If you dare,
Yeah.
if you dare to
And it
do
is a
such a
dare.
thing, that's right. We dare you.
Yeah, we dare
double
you.
dog dare you.
Whoa,
It's
whoa,
a
whoa.
physical challenge. Then James will read it out on the podcast, maybe,
That's right.
probably.
I probably will. This one is from Vanna Wok, who says, I think I like it. I put these bad boys on but when it's bedtime, but I find I've pretty much put on their pod at all hours. Decent AM listen before work. Good dog walking noise. I didn't realize it until scrolling through it to find an episode one day, but I've listened to every single episode of the show. Beside the Caravan of Garbage, because those are extra icing on the cake. All that being said, I don't know if I like James and Mesa. I don't know if I like this podcast.
I don't know if I like it, maybe.
I might be a misogynist. Misogynist? Is that what
Yeah,
it
I
is?
might be a misogynist, but I like this podcast.
Give me another 10 years and I'll let you know. Thank you so much. This one's from Little Boy 113 who says, bloody brilliant. Great, but I'm tired, so I won't write an essay about how great it is, but just trust me, 5 stars.
You're very welcome.
2 great reviews.
Folks,
Two
if you
great
want to
people.
get into contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. You can go to the Planet
Gmail.com.
Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group or the Weekly Planet podcast subreddit and Discord for fun civil chats about podcasts and pop culture. Thank you to Fidel and Sarabi and Maisie for all their moderation and for doing clips channels and TikToks and all sorts of stuff.
I'm proud of them.
I'm proud of them too.
I'm more proud, though, I reckon.
I'm less proud.
Oh,
than
okay.
you,
That's interesting.
by definition.
Okay, yeah, all right.
One of us has to be more, and you said it.
That's true. I did get it first.
If you want to follow some people on the socials, follow our friend Rob Collins. He's at Rob Collins. Go to Twitter.
is
He's
how
at the
we do
Weekly
it.
Planet on Twitter.
yeah,
What do you mean?
this is how we do it. This is how you could do it. You could follow him.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter at Wikipedia Brown and Nick Mason on Instagram. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere. If you want to support the show, you go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies. Chuck in a buck or an amount you would not miss.
$1.
Or go to bigsandwich.co for sign up for $9 per month. You get bonus podcasts, early videos, movie commentaries, video game let's plays, all sorts of stuff. What's coming up this week, James?
Right, for the movie commentaries. Oh, yeah, we did an X-Men 90s. We did an X-Men arcade.
That's right.
Video game Let's Play. I'd never go back.
That's right.
Which is a lot of fun. Is it as good as Captain America, the video game? No.
No.
But it's still fun. There's big sentinels and they go, hello. And Magneto's there and he goes, hello.
Sure, absolutely. That is how.
Those are the
yes.
things, 2 things that happen in that
Yeah,
game.
that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all the musical themes. Go to tpublic.com, search for the Weekly Planet. You get a Weekly Planet t-shirt,
It's
probably.
easy as that.
Or a mug or a pillow.
It's easy as that.
It's easy as that, I
Yeah.
reckon.
It's probably the easiest thing you'll ever do.
I always say there's a mug and a pillow, but I don't know if there is.
You're a
but-
mug.
Yeah? And you're a pillow of the community.
Thank you. Soft.
Yep.
Pointless.
Yep.
Flip it over. It's cold on the other
Angry
side.
men punch you.
The angry man punched me.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Too bad.
But I guess if I'm going to be a pillow of the community, that's one
right.
of my responsibilities.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else? Next week, Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Shh.
Quiet Place, Devon.
Yeah, you looking forward to it?
Yeah, kind of. It's got
got a
Lupita
good cast.
Nyong'o in it, and it's got
Joseph Quinn.
Yeah, that's right. Should be good.
He's in X-Men or
Is,
something. He's in X-Men, Mason.
Yeah, I know.
Or whatever.
Sure.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Is Krasinski directing this one?
I don't believe so.
Interesting.
Because he just directed If.
Oh, yeah.
What if your mates were real or whatever?
Yeah.
Did that do well? I don't think it did super well. You liked it, didn't you?
I've not seen it.
Yeah, I think it's up your alley. You busy this week? Go and see it.
I'm so busy.
Take a trip to the cinema. Treat yourself to John Krasinski's If.
I think I'm going to see El Chimera.
Oh, okay. What's that about?
I don't know, but it's got one of the guys from Challenges in it.
Elk Chimera.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, Al Chimera. Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, grab
We'll
that
enjoy
journey,
it.
guys. We'll see you next week.
Elk Chimera.
No.